And
Yes.
this is for which they are famous for doing some strange things. So,
Of course. Of course.
so new syllabus was there from 2022. And this is the outlook of the syllabus. This is Cambridge International 9701. I'm starting with syllabus outlines. Syllabus outlines are there. There are two main papers.
So paper four and paper five. Paper four is theory. Paper five is analysis, planning, practical. Paper five is basically.
It is just like physics. There are two papers. One is paper 4
Yes,
and
and
one
one
is
is paper.
theory paper.
Paper.
And second is paper 5, which is planning and analysis. But unlike physics, chemistry paper 5 is very different, and it's a very unusual type of paper. And
Hard paper.
yes, it needs a special type of love for chemistry, special type of passion for chemistry. It's not like physics, where you actually follow some rules to tackle the paper. So you
Okay.
have to first copy this screen.
Okay. Yes, copied.
Now, the paper 4, like physics, is a heavyweight paper. Paper 4 is a huge paper, and it will
100
be the
marks.
biggest paper of chemistry in your life yet. 100
Yes.
marks. It's a huge
Okay.
paper, and when you are doing chemistry for 2 hours, not even paper,
The
it will
studying.
destroying. And if you are doing a paper, A-level paper for 2 hours, many people get it, many people find it very challenging. Physics, even in much harder than physics in that sense, because chemistry drain your brain. Chemistry is a memory subject, and
Memorizing. Memorizing subject.
huh, chemistry is a memorization plus, as I said, I repeat my words, and many people laugh on my words, but I say, okay, look, go through it, you will understand. Chemistry is a subject which needs a passion, which needs a love. Otherwise, you can't do chemistry, because it's not like physics, which is common sense, common life, which at least makes some common life connection. When you drop a ball, the ball goes down because of gravity. But when
Yes.
bromination of ethene
Yes.
decolorizing bromine, because there is a specific electrophilic substitution, so that doesn't actually link with common life. Paper 5, planning and analysis, experimental skills are there, and examiner says that the question can come from any side, and this is 1 hour 15-minute paper, as like physics. Chemistry is also in A2 is a very low threshold paper. It means majority people lose a good number of marks, but compared to AS, A2 results are always better in AS as compared to AS. A2
Okay.
results are always better than AS.
Okay. So like my grade will also be better in A level when I will go.
Sorry, I couldn't get you.
So like my result will also be better when I'm going A level chemistry.
That is, I don't know. Let me proceed. After 1 or 2 classes, I can tell you that how much chemistry is with you, or and how much you are with chemistry, because chemistry needs some connection. Just like some people are good in music, so if you ask them why you like music, they say, I have a connection with music.
Yes.
Chemistry, bio are descriptive sciences.
And there are sciences we have to sit and study on the table. Like these are
Sorry.
that we have these sciences are we have to sit and study on the table. We have to not move. Like you have to just see read every word line by line. You have to understand the concept properly.
That's a problem, but again I say the same word now, that you can't memorize the whole syllabus blindly.
Yes.
Look
Yes.
at the support which is there, which I always emphasize the people to tackle, because this is how you can get good grade. You always have to look on the syllabus. Marking schemes are understood. Everyone look at that. Many people do not follow, do not use examiner report. CI says one of the most powerful resource examiners provide are examiner reports. Some cases unmatchable knowledge is there. Marking scheme is just like an answer sheet. Then yearly past paper, June, November, March. And the fifth point, which is my slogan, which I preach everywhere, is the topical past paper. I always emphasize that many students, when they do topical past paper, they actually evolve. You know, evolution. You play a game once, then you play the game same second time, then you play the game third time. You evolve. You get to know how to do it. Some techniques your coach will tell you, but some techniques are there which you will do, which you will get after playing. This is the same thing. Many students who are sincerely doing topical past paper, and they get a lot of understanding. Number 6 is not a big resource, but this is helpful when you are prepared, when you are just like 1 month ahead the paper. Student
Yes.
response booklet, which shows the good and bad responses. Yes.
What is the meaning of booklets?
Hmm?
What booklets? Which booklets? Like which booklets?
Student, you are talking about number 6.
Yes.
These are digital books available. CCI provides it now. These are digital books which show the A grade solution, the C grade solution, and the E grade solution. Grade threshold. This is something very interesting, and every smart student in the first class, when I introduce chemistry, he says that the game is on. Look at the threshold of paper 4.
60 out of 100.
This is a very, very low threshold.
Yes.
You can imagine that 60 out of 100 means it's a margin of 40 marks for A. It's like
Yes.
a threshold for A.
Yes.
Main sections: physical chemistry, inorganic chemistry, cool blue, physical green, organic as usual, king of chemistry, organic chemistry is red.
That's why red, because it's difficult
Analysis,
topic. Yes.
organic
Difficult
chemistry is
topic.
always very challenging.
That's why red.
Analysis is also a cool chemistry, but many people find it very irritating. Anyways, you have to copy this list. You have to copy this screen in your notes.
Okay. Copied.
Now, physical chemistry consists of chemical energetics, electrochemistry, equilibrium, reaction kinetics. These 4 chapters today, I have posted you these
Yes,
chapters.
chemical energetics PPT also you have sent me.
No. I have sent you a list of chapters also.
Yes, that also, that in the morning. Right now I'm talking about. Yes, that I know.
Inorganic chemistry, group 2, and chemistry of transition elements. Then comes the king, organic chemistry, a long series. And compared to A2 organic chemistry is more memory based. Analysis, analytical techniques like spectroscopy, like MRI, etc. A-level candidates also study practical skills, which is actually paper 5.
Okay.
Paper 5. Now we talk about the books. This is the main book, the CI and
I've sent you my book picture also that day. My
That's a good book. That's the official
so
book. You
so
have sent.
this book. So is the book changed or book is same?
There are two books. You can buy this one or this one. That's one book is enough, more than
No,
enough.
no. Okay, so I'm using this book.
Frankly speaking, some people are emotional and they just study book in 1 month. After 1 month, no one is reading the book. No one has the time. A level is a very short session, hardly
Okay.
7 months are there. So book has unmatchable knowledge, but the
Okay.
problem is the time. You have to do a topic, you have to do
Past
a
papers.
number of topic past papers, you have to face the school tests, then tuitions, then obviously the book
Yes.
need time. This is
Yes.
another book. Collins is a very famous series in our countries, our Gulf side, Pakistan, and other countries. This book didn't get good fame, but this is a very good book actually. Then use topical past paper for paper 4 and yearly unsolved for paper 5. For
Okay.
topical, you can use Read and Write. There are two brands in Pakistan available,
Okay.
and I think one of them, Read and Write, is perhaps available in UAE also, or
Okay.
online availability is there. One of my student, I think 2 days back, she got the books, MS books online.
But is it Afra Dishan? Afra Dishan?
Sorry,
Is it
no,
Afra Dishan, your student?
and another student, she is in Saudi Arabia, and she got the
Okay.
books because she was having problem. I think in UAE you can get. Otherwise, online system is so good now. You can order everything online.
Yes.
Now, this is paper 4 topical unsolved. This is MS book. I will share you the pictures,
Okay.
whatever you get. This is this is the alternate option. This is Read and Write, and these
Okay.
are the yearly past papers in chemistry. The two books you
Okay.
need. This is where the red light on. Actually, this is where the red light is on. A2 chemistry always need a good recall from AS chemistry. This
Okay.
is so much in blend that many people after 1 or 2 months, they think that why don't they give A-level chemistry together, not in AS-A2, because nearly everything they had studied in AS is coming back in A2. This is where, that is why I had sent you a file, because today I have to start chemical energetics as my first chapter, and it is compulsory that when you start any chapter in A2 chemistry, you need
Okay.
a connection from AS chemistry.
Okay.
And definitely I can't tell you please go and read all the books. That's
Of
go
course.
and read the chapter from the book. That is
Of
so
course.
long.
Textbook is also so big.
I have sent you
PPT.
short books. One covers the
PPT.
whole syllabus. That's Z
Yeah.
notes. Z notes are very good. Z notes are available in all major chapters, major subjects of O level, A level. And I also have sent you a chapter notes, which are also very concise. Physical chemistry has 4 chapters: chemical energetics, chemical
Yes.
kinetics, equilibria, and
Electrochem.
electrochemistry. Now I'm starting with chemical energetics. You have to give this heading, chemical energetics. We also call it thermochemistry.
Yes.
Okay, now give the heading, chemical energetics, and we also call it thermochemistry.
Okay.
Now, again the same point. Chemistry is a memory chain. This chapter was in O level, this chapter was in AS level, and this chapter is now in A2. The syllabus is made in such a way, just like a partition occurred in South Asia and 2 countries were made. It is just like that it was a single chapter, chemical energetics, and they divided it in 2. Half chapter was in AS and second half chapter is in A2. That is where physics is better, because A2 physics does not require much from AS physics. I put my first concept, introduction. It is the study of energy changes associated with chemical reactions. Chemical reactions normally occur with respect to heat. Very quick memory, if I can call for you, that there is a concept of heat energy. There is a concept of exothermic, endothermic. There is a concept of enthalpy and enthalpy change. And there is a concept of energy profile.
So there is no
Did you
father
read
keyboard
that
washroom.
PDF? Yes, sorry.
I saw my father keyboard the washroom. Let me go and check. Is he
You
outside?
can tell me when he's available.
Oh, he's available right now. I'm calling him. He's available right now. He is there. Can I call?
Copy this list.
Yes, I will write this.
Heat energy, exothermic, endothermic, enthalpy, H and enthalpy changes, energy profile. These are the concepts, and I have given the heading recall concepts. It's a memory back. You have to copy this list.
Hmm.
Can you tell me what is exothermic? Can you tell me what is heat energy?
Heat energy is basically
You can look at the screen also.
energy associated with the kinetically active molecules.
So it is the concept, just like when you run up, when you exercise, your body temperature increases. When you exercise, your body temperature increases. This is called the concept of heat energy. What is exothermic and endothermic?
Exothermic reaction is basically reaction when energy is being taken in, when energy is given in, and endothermic reaction is the reaction when energy is given out or taken out. Like exothermic is positive, endothermic is negative.
Endothermic is positive.
Okay. Okay.
Endothermic is positive and exothermic is
Negative.
Did you read that PDF which I sent you in the last?
Yep. I read.
Because that will be necessary, because you have to give me full support in AS chemistry that you have to give in school also. Because in school they will be expecting you to remember everything. Now, what is enthalpy?
Enthalpy is the heat content of a substance.
So enthalpy is the heat content. It means that if you burn oil, if you burn carbon, you can get a certain amount of heat. That certain amount of heat is called enthalpy. Enthalpy is the heat content of a substance. What is enthalpy change? When a chemical reaction takes place, reactants convert into products. So enthalpy change. What's the meaning of this? Actually, every substance has a particular atomic structure. According to the atomic structure, everything has a particular heat content. Coal, petrol, diesel, they do not produce the same amount of heat because of their atomic structure. So when a substance converts into another substance, its molecular structure changes. That is why enthalpy changes. So this is enthalpy change. What was the formula of enthalpy change?
Heat content of products minus heat content of reactants.
And that is delta H, unit of delta H.
These questions I find really difficult when I was doing AS. So these questions, problem solving, I was finding very difficult.
This is you have pointed out correctly. And again, this is a point. Chemistry is a descriptive science. You have to write down a lot of things. You have to memorize it. And when you do topical, once you get an idea of topical past paper, many things will get simpler. Now you have to copy this screen.
Okay. It is hot content of reaction or heat content of reactant? It is hot here.
Yes, Visham, can you repeat?
It is hot or heat content of reactants. Hot content or heat content of reactants.
Sorry?
It is hot content of reactants or heat content of reactants.
It is heat the second bracket is an error. This is the heat content of
That's
reactant.
why that's why I
Yes,
got
right.
confused.
This is a typing mistake, and
No problem. I was just asking. I was. Just copied.
now delta H with a sign on it. This sign was of standard. This sign, when we used to put this sign, this was a symbol for standard. What is standard enthalpy change?
So when one mole of substance is basically burnt from its atom from its
No.
gas.
That is enthalpy change of combustion. What is standard means? Standard means on a particular pressure, 1 atm, on a particular temperature, 25 degrees centigrade, and a particular concentration, you conduct the reaction, you call it standard reaction. What
Okay.
are energy profiles? It's a diagrammatical representation of a reaction pathway, a very famous diagram. This is an endothermic reaction. Products are at a higher energy level than the reactants.
Yes.
What is EA? What is EA? Look at the screen. What is EA?
Energy. Activation energy.
What is activation energy?
Activation energy. 1 minute. Okay. Wait, let me record.
It is
1 minute.
actually a concept of energy barrier, just like a speed breaker. You need to go over this energy. You need to go over this energy barrier to complete the reaction. So it is like a energy barrier. It is like a requirement of energy. Same here. This is an exothermic reaction. Look at the products are at a lower energy level.
Okay.
It means what? In an exothermic reaction, the products form with the release of energy. Energy level diagrams, a very famous thing in our AS. They show the stages or steps in a chemical reaction. Do you remember this famous diagram? Reactants to products, downward. Every chemical reaction occur in stages. Normally, say a reaction, when we consider a reaction, the reaction is apparently completing in one step. But internally, a reaction does not complete in one step. A reaction actually completes in number of steps. And during the reaction, if you remember AS organic mechanism, you might remember this word intermediate.
Okay.
So what is intermediate? Intermediate is the transition product. For example, if you remember a very fundamental equation, C plus O2 gives you
C plus O2 gives CO2.
CO2. This is a one-step reaction. But this is also possible that actually the reaction occurs in stages. First, you get CO, carbon monoxide. Then carbon monoxide plus oxygen gives you CO2. So the reaction can occur in two stages. Here, the carbon monoxide is an intermediate.
Okay.
C plus O2, CO2, and CO plus O2 gives you CO2.
CO2.
This is an intermediate, and Now, another famous thing, a very famous thing, one of the most famous in this chapter, Hess's law of heat summation.
Yes.
What was this law? Just a minute.
Okay.
Just a minute, please.
Okay.
Hess's law, overall enthalpy change is independent to the route taken by the reaction. Now, what is the idea of route taken by the reaction? You can make carbon dioxide in one step, you get CO2.
Yes.
Or you make first carbon monoxide, which combines with oxygen, and then you come here. So there are two routes, route number 1 and route
Okay.
number. So what is the concept of Hess's law? He says that the overall energy change is the same. You go by route number 1, you go by route number 2.
Okay.
So what is the concept? The
The
Hess's law says the overall enthalpy change is independent to the route taken
by
by the reaction.
reaction.
So if you find the enthalpy change for route number 2, it will be valid for route number 1. If you find enthalpy change for route number 2, it will be valid for enthalpy change of route number 1.
Why?
For example, you are talking about combustion of methane. Then you have to copy this screen.
Okay.
Hess's law of heat summation, the overall enthalpy change is independent to the route taken by the reaction.
Like next year, they're saying that chemical results will be very bad next year also.
Sorry?
Chemical, like next year, the chemistry results are going to be bad. They are saying.
No, actually, sometimes you speak so fast that I missed.
The practical wasn't it like we used to do it in practical like pipe in pipe triangle you have to put a lid and all. We used to do it in practicals.
But this is right. But this was another feature which can be considered as an alternate for energy level diagram. So give
Yes.
the heading energy triangle.
Okay. I have copied it. Share a diagram also.
No. Look at this screen, energy triangle. For example, reactants converts into products and elements are coming from the bottom. Reactants convert to products. And HF means enthalpy change of formation. HC means enthalpy change of combustion. This is called energy triangle. It also shows two possible routes. For example, you can consider this as route number 1, and you can consider this as route number 2, or you can make other loops also. So you can also, you just have to remember that actually energy triangle is a good alternate for energy level diagram. H1 plus HF plus HC1 is equal to HC2. Now, can you remember in O level and A level physics, do you remember this rule that this is a
I
vector?
think that's yes.
If I write A, if I write B, if I write C, you
It's
can
going to
write
be
plus.
B is like A square plus B square equals to C
No,
square.
that's a right angle triangle. Leave that.
Okay.
That's not a right angle triangle. A plus B, look at the arrows. A and B are head to tail.
Hmm.
So A plus B is equal to C. This is called head to tail concept. You have to copy this screen.
Okay. So like tomorrow I'll just go to academy, and Monday probably my parents will go to academy and talk to the teachers in the academy. Like tomorrow is my last day in the academy. Monday my parents will go to academy and talk to my teachers again.
No
And
problem. Just very
then
calmly decide. And
yes,
I
they will decide calmly, like they both will go and they both will talk with them calmly. What is the next step? Like what do they suggest? What is their plan and all? No? Like